The recovery effort continues in Miami after a pedestrian bridge collapsed, crushing cars and killing at least 6 people. We're also learning that concerns were raised about the bridge before its collapse. Let's bring in Megan Roberts, who's been tracking all of this for us. Megan, so what's the latest?
Well, John, we know that crews are on the scene right now. They're digging through that rubble. And in fact, we do have some new pictures to show you of what's going on right now in Miami as they try to get through that rubble. You can see those 2 large trucks there carrying, of course, things on the back. Those are both cars that were pulled from the rubble. The first 2 cars that police and emergency crews were able to pull from the rubble of that bridge collapse. This is according to Miami police, and they say that those will be taken to the medical examiner's department. So really that's what's going on right now. It's a recovery effort to go slowly through that rubble, and you can see how much there is to go through, and there are concerns as well from police that there may be more victims underneath all of that rubble. We know that 6 people were killed when this pedestrian bridge collapsed on Thursday at Florida International University. And we've now also learned the identity of one of the victims from her father and from a passenger in her car. She is 18-year-old Alexa Duran, a student at Florida International University. Her father told a Miami newspaper that his daughter was one of the victims, and also the passenger in the SUV she was driving when this bridge collapsed managed to make it out. He also confirmed that she was a victim of this, John.
But we're also hearing, Megan, that there were concerns about the bridge before it collapsed. What can you tell us about that?
That's right. There was a phone call that was placed that there were cracks in the bridge. That happened 2 days before this bridge collapsed. So that phone call was placed by one of the engineers of the company that designed this pedestrian bridge, and it was placed to an employee with the Florida Department of Transportation. We do have some of that call, so let's take a listen.
I was calling to share with you some information about the FIU pedestrian bridge and some cracking that's been observed on the north end of the span, the pylon end of that span we moved this weekend. So we've taken a look at it, and obviously some repairs or whatever will have to be done, but from a safety perspective, we don't see that there's any issue there.
Now, the person on the receiving end of that phone call, the employee with the Florida Department of Transportation, was actually out of the office on assignment when that phone call was made. And that message went unanswered and unheard until Friday, which is 1 day after that bridge collapsed. However, you did hear in that message that the engineer did not believe there was any safety issues, but certainly something that investigators will be looking at going forward.